military members will stand at attention. It is appropriate for civilian guests to place their right hand over their heart. A military memorial is reserved for those who have defended their country. Today, we pay our respect to 4 men who trained with the men and women of the 571st MSAS. Through this memorial, we pass our respect and solidarity with the Belize Defense Force, Air Wing, during these trying times. Please stand for the posting of the colors, the singing of the Belize National Anthem, the United States National Anthem, and the invocation.
Land of the free by the Caribbean Sea, our manhood we pledge to thy liberty. No tyrants here linger, despots must leave this tranquil haven of democracy. The blood of our sires which follows the cloud, is cried out from slavery of persons brought by the might of truth and the grace of God. No longer shall we be hearers of wood. Arise, ye sons of the babe and glad. Put on your armor, clear the land, drive back the tyrant, let despots flee. Land of the free by the Caribbean Sea. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? Moonbeams and bright stars through the perilous night. Oh, the ramparts we won were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I invite us to pray together. As soon as we post it. It's good that God forgives. I hope you all do as well. Dear God, as we gather this afternoon, we confess that we are in need of you every day of our lives. We thank you for creating us, redeeming us, and sustaining us. Today we look to you for comfort, hope, and vision as our hearts are troubled. Major Radford Bizar, Major Adrian Ramirez, Corporal Ronaldo Choco, Corporal Yasir Menendez. We are burdened with the tragic sorrows of this world, with the needs and griefs of those we love, and with the inner perplexities and problems that destroy our peace. Help us lean on you always, even in the midst of faith, fear, trust, and the weight of our cares. Open our eyes to see opportunity where we struggle and to be challenged but not defeated by our troubles. We know that you are here for us. As we remember these airmen and celebrate their lives, let us remember that you are indeed with us through even the valley of the shadow of death. Let us feel your presence. Let us share this sacred time of remembrance together. And in your holy name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Thank you, Master Sergeant Winfrey, for the beautiful rendition of our two nations anthems, and Chaplain Lorty for those inspiring words. Lieutenant Colonel Webb, the 571st MSAS Commander, and Senior Master Sergeant Knight, thank you for coming. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and members of Team Travis for taking the time to be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the mission commander of the 571st MSAS Mobile Training Team, Lieutenant Colonel Clark.
Good afternoon. 9 years ago, 571st MSAS started their relationship with the Belize Defense Force Airway. However, we can't claim to actually be the first air advisor that went down to Belize. On 30 December 1927, Charles Lindbergh became the first person to land on Belize soil. He did so in the spirits of St. Louis, the same aircraft that he flew across on his transatlantic flight, the first in history. So why are we here? On 28 February 2020, a Belize UH-1H crashed with 4 crew members. There were no survivors. In the blur of the international headlines, we lose that headline. Partially because we've accepted 2 facts. One is a lot of people fly. And the second, the aircraft that they fly in sometimes crash. 11 years after his first landing in Belize, Charles Lindbergh said, "If one takes no chances, one would not fly at all. Safety lies in the judgment of the chances one takes. That judgment, in turn, must rest on one's outlook on life." We've had 9+ years to get to know our friends over in the airway. We've talked to them in the classrooms. We've worked on aircraft engines with them. We've developed programs. We've discussed policies. On the fields of friendly strife, we have met them in their spirit. We've met them on the football fields. We've met them in the volleyball pits. Sadly, often we walk away with our team a little bit more humbled, but we walk away in good company. At the barbecue pits and with a cold brew in their hand, we discuss life, we discuss what's next, and we learn a little bit more about our partner nation. One of our former commanders, Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez, said of the Belize Defense Force, they're a feisty bunch. They fight well above their weight. Aguilas connect well with the Belize Defense Force. Their unit is small and they're closely tied. They're scrambling for resources, and there is an abundant spare decor. It's truly a pleasure to go down to Belize and work with our partner nation. Watching enthusiasm move to professionalism, creating the stepping stones that move possibilities to capabilities. When we joined our Air Force, we did so for love of country, for better tomorrows, for the adventure. We joined it to be something, part of something that was bigger than ourselves. When we go to Belize, we see that same nature reflected in our partner nation. It is a kindred spirit. Our friends part of our friends was in the military, but not all of them was in the military. They were more than just a uniform, more than just their nation's shield, more than just a tool of policy. Last Thursday night, not just a military crew was lost. Belize lost 4 sons. Spouses lost their husbands. Children lost their fathers. Sisters, brothers, cousins, friends. They lost Adrian. They lost Bradford. They lost Choco. They lost Kazir. There is a cost to our business. It's a dark and ugly truth. To defend what you value, what you cherish, those you love, you must risk your tomorrows. If we do so, tyranny is checked, the rule of law is sustained. If we keep our watch, we stand our ground, we step out when called, we keep the wolves at bay. This is about Belize. This is 4 men, 4 aircrew members, 4 aviators. I suspect that most days are different days, and I'd like to take you back to one of those days. It's early morning hours, and the calls go out. There's a mission afoot. Crew members gather their gear, put on their uniforms, and they head to the hangar. And when they get there, they find that the maintenance is already there in front of us. They have prepped the helicopter. They've fueled it. The crew sits around, puts together a quick flight plan. They check the weather. There's a quick crew brief. Then you head out to the helicopter. Dawn is breaking. You check the forms. You have a quick word with the crew chief before you strap in. The checklists start rattling off. The switches start getting turned. You check your gauges. The helicopter starts coming to life. The engine starts with a high whine and the rotors start to turn slowly and faster and faster and faster until it's like an iron heartbeat that is beating through the crew members' souls. A quick call to the tower. Clearance to take off. Hand on the yoke, pull the collective, and an iron beast tears away from the earth and soars on the wind. "117 years ago, there was just the slightest glimmer that a day like that can happen. Before that, for all the history of mankind, that was a dream. These 4 aviators lived a dream. They stepped out on a mission, and they journeyed to the skies. They stepped out and they knew what the risks were when they started that journey. The air wing is a small unit. It's a tight unit. It makes for tight crews. I can tell you, if you are flying with a group of crew where you know what they are going to think, where you are so interrelated that your heartbeat is almost synchronized, where you trust them, where you know they are covering your blind spots and you know that you are looking out for them, it is a crew that you would take anywhere. Through the flames of hell, or up to the gates of heaven. Major Adrian Ramirez, Major Radford was there. Corporal John, Corporal Yaza Melendez. They volunteered to serve. They joined a cause that was greater than themselves. They protected those that they loved. They stepped out when called. They knew the closeness of a professional family. This is a life well lived. This is a life worth living. They should be remembered.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Park. Master Sergeant Stewart and Technical Sergeant Davis have prepared readings for this occasion.
The man in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat. Theodore Roosevelt.
High flight. Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth, and danced the skies on laughter's silver wings. Sunward I've climbed, and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds, and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air, up, delirious burning blue. I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, where never lark or ever eagle flew. And with the silent, lifting mind, I trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space. Put out my hand and touch the face of God.
Thank you, Master Sergeant Stewart, Tech Sergeant Davis.
Execute the final roll call.
Major Ramirez. Major Adrian Ramirez.
not present, his watch is ended.
Major Bazar. Major Bradford Bazar.
Not present. His watch is ended.
Corporal Choco. Corporal Reynaldo Choco.
Not present, his watch is ended.
Corporal Mendez. Corporal Yasir Mendez.
Not present. His watch has ended.
Ladies and gentlemen, please observe a moment of silence in memory of these 4 men.
Again, dear God, although we have gathered in sorrow, we are glad that we were able to gather. That we were able to gather and celebrate the lives of these 5 comrades in arms. Let their passing help us be mindful of both the beauty in lives well lived and of life's fragility. Help us remember, dear God, these precious lives in our hearts and minds. And let us never forget that as long as we remember them, their legacy and sacrifice continue on in our lives. You will not forget. They will be remembered. In the spirit of love, we close this service of remembrance. Let us go in peace and live together in charity, taking from and giving to each other as we need and are able to give the gifts of courage and wisdom. In your holy name, again, we say, Amen. This concludes our memorial. Let our service to this country